All right, getting into our weather for this week. Unfortunately, an infamous day in our hurricane history tomorrow, August 29th. But good news this week is that we're going into that date this year without any big tropical threats at all. And in fact, with just kind of typical weather that's not even as hot as it could be. We just have more of the same scattered rain expected for the most part this week. But I know you're probably interested in the tropics, so we'll start there. There are several areas out there being highlighted by the National Hurricane Center for potential development this week. And the closest to home is a trough of low pressure where nothing is really happening right now at this point in the Caribbean Sea. But it looks like this might eventually emerge in the Bay of Campeche by the late part of this week. And at least one model has it trying to develop. Another just keeps it an open wave. But either way, really the big global models right now are keeping it far to the south, getting caught in easterly winds and just not making it into the northern Gulf at all. So certainly something we will keep our eye on and keep you updated about. But at this point, it does not look like a threat for our part of the Gulf Coast. Now, farther out, this is probably the one that would become Danielle, or a tropical depression this week. This has the highest chance of development, a 70% chance in the next 5 days. It looks like this one will stay kind of clipping the northeast Caribbean Sea and maybe end up next weekend somewhere near or north of the Bahamas in the western Atlantic. So this one also, at this point, not looking like it's going to come near us. I'll show you the models on it in a second, though. Farther out, a wave is going to come off of the continent of Africa. That one has a low chance of development, and models actually aren't very aggressive with developing it. It's, of course, really far out, so lots of time to watch that one. And there's a fourth spot farther north. You can see that tiny area that has a 10% chance of development. Probably not going to develop, but just a little spot way east of Bermuda that the National Hurricane Center is also highlighting. Now, the one in the middle of the Atlantic right now, that has been designated Invest 91L, and it does show the models which are now being run on that. That's the point of designating something an Invest. You can see that it takes it a little farther off to the north, and again, maybe kind of western Atlantic outside of the Bahamas, all the way into a week plus from now is where it might eventually end up. Still, we're just going to kind of have to watch all these different things. Again, that one doesn't look like it'll get near us. Still something to watch, especially maybe for folks around parts of the Caribbean Sea or the Bahamas or the east coast of the U.S. So bottom line right now, a few spots to watch, but still no threats here at this point. We will be tracking everything really closely, but we've made it 8 weeks now since July 3rd with no active storms, no named storms. And we'll see how long we can keep that going, and certainly how long our stretch for no threats here can keep going. We wouldn't mind keeping it quiet along the Gulf Coast as far as the tropics go for, as long as we can. Right now, our temperature in New Orleans getting into our more local forecast, 85 degrees. We're mostly in the 80s, unless you're chillier in the 70s because of rain. Rainfall amounts today were up to about a few hundredths of an inch in some spots, but much more in other locations. And with our scattered rain that we're still seeing, that downpour I was talking about over the south end of the causeway, Metairie, Kenner, New Orleans, that is lightening up a little bit and shifting a bit to the north. Hour by hour this evening, we will be seeing our temperatures get through the 80s. And overnight tonight, we will drop our temperatures into the 70s for overnight lows, and we will be looking for our temperatures tomorrow to rebound into the upper 80s once again. So there's your forecast for tonight: 70s, 20% chance of overnight showers and storms. Tomorrow we'll say about 89 with a chance for scattered rain continuing. And look at this forecast. I'm going to pop up our 7-day for this week. More of the same. Not intense heat because we'll have the clouds and the rain. The main thing we'll have to watch for is a few heavy downpours that might promote some brief street flooding for a few locations. But really, in general, we're just seeing more of the same, more of this pattern that we've had much of the summer so far, much of August, of course, where we've seen the heat not so bad because we have the rain. But again, we'll watch for just a few of those downpours, a few pockets of heavy rain here and there. And that takes us all the way into the weekend.